Testing. Oh, now we're testing. Testing.
Check 1, 2.
1, 2. Joe Skelly got a bunch of things in your mouth.
I got a mouthful of nerds.
Yes.
Leftover Halloween candy.
We can't. Can we make a leftover Halloween candy episode the same day as we make the We're Coming Up on Candy episode?
I just did.
This is like a time paradox.
It's a time paradox.
If you listen to our live drops, they're very confusing.
Why is that?
I don't know. Maybe. Oh, I just thought of the greatest idea. It's gonna make butter so mad.
Should you talk about this on the air?
Yeah, I think so.
Uh-oh.
This is a open forum business discussion right here. Right.
We're putting our business out there.
Right.
Okay.
Instead of doing the live drop to start our day, we do the live drop to finish our day.
Oh.
Then we pre-brief on the episodes that are coming out that week.
Maybe.
No, that doesn't work because we're always 2 weeks in advance. Fuck.
Whatever.
That doesn't work.
All right, I will put this
Back
out
to
there
what we were doing.
to the listener
Right.
who took the guess at Can You Dig It and where it came from.
Oh, yeah. How did that go?
He thought it was from Booker T, the wrestler.
Which is not wrong.
He's not wrong.
Not wrong.
He's not wrong. However,
was used by them.
Booker T stole it
Right.
from the movie The Warriors.
Right.
That's where it came from.
All right. So we're going with that.
When Cyrus was talking in front of all the gangs in New York, and he was like, "Can you dig it?"
Well, now you've given away the secret.
Well, it's too late now.
So
we only had one reply to it, so
he gets the sticker.
he gets the sticker.
Right.
The sticker's actually been getting out a couple places, as I've been told.
Yep.
The street team's doing its work.
Oh, we did get a picture sent in by our listener the other day. I won't mention a name, so he's not on the outs. But he was posting our stickers all over some bike park
Nice.
or something, and he had a sticker. I've got the picture. I just don't have any way to get it from one phone to the other. But yeah, he's posting. They were showing me stickers.
Text
that he
it to
was
me.
posting up everywhere. Right.
Text it to me, and I'll backdoor it up onto the
Workarounds. Look at us solving problems right now.
Workarounds. Engineer has a question.
Imagine oh no, he's just looking,
That he's back from a hiatus.
He's just looking dumply.
Yeah, he got another job and thought he was
Right.
super important. Then the other job didn't need him today, so now he wants to
Right.
be part of the team.
So
again.
he's like, "Let me come back and work, guys."
"Could I ask a question?
Right.
Let me ask you a question."
Right. Let me tell you the real history of Jason.
Apparently, he's seen more of these weird ass movies than any of us.
Right. It's because kids are all messed up these days. They got no respect.
Is that what it is?
He doesn't watch any good movies.
He doesn't watch any good movies.
Right.
Oh, by the way, because we forgot to do it in the live drop, I'll do it again now. Hey, get on that favorite platform of yours. Like, subscribe, ring the bell, cling, cling, clang. Do whatever you got to do. Give us a 5-star rating.
Right.
Help us beat these algorithms so we can catch, oh boy, DMT 4000. Go get a shot of.
Get my shoulder worked on in Mexico.
Get your shoulder worked on in Mexico. Joe Rogan, we're hot on your trail. I promise you.
Right.
Right? Listen to the show on your smart fridge.
Right.
On your Apple Dot, whatever that thing is called, the Alexa thing.
Of course.
Yeah, you can say, "Hey Alexa, go ahead and play that." Play that podcast, and then you could also ask Alexa if there are any ghosts in your house.
And you had to make it fucking weird.
You don't believe me? Ask your Alexa. Ask your Alexa.
Could have kept it normal. We could be a regular business just trying to fucking mill out puppies, but no.
Fuck
you gotta
no.
bring in some weird shit.
Ask your Alexa.
Listen, dude.
Oh,
okay,
and don't forget to write.
I just had
what's that fucking platform that won't let us on? Pandora.
all of them. Yeah.
Write Pandora's customer service and ask them why the fuck they won't let us on there.
I just thought of the greatest idea.
What's that?
So you can have one of our listeners said, you can listen to our podcast on a smart fridge.
Yes.
They've got these like walls that are invisible now. You can look inside your fridge without opening the door.
All kinds of crazy
Save
stuff.
power.
Mm-hmm.
Why haven't they put a hot hologram chick on the fridge? That every time you walk up is like, "Hey, you're looking so swole. I think you should pass on these cookies because those abs are coming in nice." She's in like a lingerie nightie, and you know what I'm saying?
Because that only
She like
applies,
bends over. She's like,
that only
wouldn't you
applies
really
to one
have
part
me-
of the demographic.
"Yeah, half." And then once that half is in shape, the other half will be happy because that half is in shape.
So should there be like a dude version of
Could
that
be.
too?
It could be. The only
Some
problem
like-
is the only
Some
problem
like
is
Thunder from Down
to
Under,
make
dude.
this. No, it'll
in
be
a banana hammock,
it'll be
holding a surfboard.
Yeah, it'll be what's his face that we watched on the female Ghostbusters movie the other day, Hemsworth, and he comes on and he's like, you know, you look wonderful, but if you really want these Reese's, you can have them because you'll only look better the bigger you get. And so like it's all fucked up, right? So your
Oh,
wife is like
wait,
gaining all this
whoa.
weight, but the chick is like getting you all jazzed and ripped, right? That would work.
That sounds
And
backwards.
then for the kids, when the kid comes up to the fridge, it's just fucking
What's
the
that glow in
the
the dark-
clown from It.
No,
and he
what's
comes
that-
up and he's like, beep beep Richie. And the kid's like, fuck, and then runs away.
And then your kid
Never goes back to the
never
fridge
eats-
again.
Never eats again.
Right. And then develops fucking eating disorder.
That sounds amazing.
Can
What,
we
why couldn't it be that glow in the dark thing from Bob's the Burgers? What's that
I'm
thing
a
called?
genius.
Coochie what?
Coochie?
I don't
Bob's
know.
the Burgers has a glow in the dark thing called Coochie?
No, dude. Here, I'll
I've
look
never
it up.
been a part of this conversation. Oh yeah, yeah.
If you, how do you
Isn't
not
Bob's
like that?
Burgers a cartoon or what is
Yes,
that?
it's a cartoon.
Okay.
It's called Coochie Kopi.
Oh, okay. You're like dead ass with that shit.
Here, I'll show you a picture of it. It's
Oh,
on my Amazon wish list.
okay. Bob's Burgers.
It glows in the dark. Glows in the dark.
Why you watch that shit for? Give you nightmares.
When you need to decompress, need downtime from
How-
the real world.
So okay,
That's how you watch it.
people say that,
Yes.
but if you're decompressing watching that type of cartoon, just go to sleep.
What if you're not tired?
That's never happened to me. I'm either fucking wide awake doing stuff, or I'm so fucking tired I fell over in the chair.
So you hate Bob's Burgers, is what you're saying?
No, I don't.
Engineer don't count because
Yeah,
you
you
don't
don't
even work
count.
here anymore.
Right. Pay some fucking taxes, then come talk to us. All right. So, so what I'm saying, yeah, when you have a bigger load than $40 in the tax bin, come talk.
Right.
Okay, so I don't know, dude. Maybe I'm off my rocker.
Okay, whatever.
What's up with those adult cartoons? I don't get into those too much.
Well, okay.
Do you?
Yes.
I'm joking. I know that.
That
That's a loaded question.
is a loaded question. Don't be a jerk face
What's your
about it.
favorite? What's your favorite adult cartoon?
Dude, I like Bob's Burgers. I like Archer.
Will and Grace. That's your favorite.
Yeah,
Adult
it's not a
don't lie.
cartoon, and I haven't. And I don't even think that's
He's
anywhere
just
on TV.
stole. You see, he just walked off the side of the boat with that. We were going, and then it was just like, I'm not. TV, no. TV, no play.
Bro,
Okay.
you're trying to wrap me up on some bullshit.
Dude, I love it.
Listen.
I got to keep you on your toes.
Oh, you're always trying to keep me on my toes.
Listen, I just thought of the greatest idea, and I'm going to say this out loud right now because you're going to forget. But someday, I'm going to walk you into a nightclub, and you're going to have no fucking clue what it's about to repay you for trying to get me to go in the woods and look for a moth character.
Whatever. I'll blend in just fine.
I don't know about that.
You ain't
I
gonna get
don't
me
know
on
about
nothing.
that.
You ain't gonna get me on nothing.
Okay, I'm just putting it right there.
You ain't gonna get me on
I'll
nothing.
put it right there. Whatever.
You put it on there. You put it over there. You can put it anywhere you want to. You ain't gonna phase me, son.
What's your best Halloween story? We're still on that.
Oh, we're not. We're moving. on.
Are we moving on?
We're moving. on.
Fuck.
I don't have a
Okay,
best
here we
Halloween
go.
story.
What is your best Christmas story? Oh, what is your best Thanksgiving story? Nothing?
No,
Hmm.
they're just normal days. No, none of them. I mean, it's just a holiday, right? I can't be like, oh, I went on a trip. It was amazing. Never happened.
You might have got a turkey with a slingshot and then like pulled its feathers out with
No.
your bare hands and cooked it in a deep
No,
fryer.
I raised some turkeys. I gave them to an Amish dude.
Oh my
He
god.
took care of all that for
Oh
me.
my god. You Americans are so spoiled.
I raised my food. That's not spoiled.
Oh, you raised it?
I didn't go to the store and buy a frozen turkey.
Was it range fed?
Oh yeah, free range.
Free range?
Mm-hmm.
Bro, that shit is so fake. They're like, "Oh, free range, 5,000 turkeys stuffed into an apartment."
Right. No.
is what that is.
No.
Yeah.
These guys.
They're free to hit each other. They're free to live in this camp until they die.
Right. No.
I'm good on that.
And you know how they dispatch them?
Yo, which animal? Because all kind of fucked up ways
The
for all
turkeys
of them.
and the chickens.
How they do the turkeys?
Turkeys and the chickens, they do the same way.
What's that?
You ever seen one of those side loading dryers?
Yeah.
It's a giant version of that,
Oh.
and it's without the heat. It's just the tumbler.
Why would you do that?
You throw them in there, it breaks all their necks.
That is the dumbest fucking thing I've ever heard.
That's how they do it.
I've seen dudes breaking them by hand, like in factories. I've also seen the I just watched one. It was some video was supposed to convince me to never eat meat again. It just convinced me never to watch that channel on YouTube again. Is what it really convinced me of doing. No.
By the way, Spanish pigs are amazing because they feed them acorns.
All right.
Nothing but a diet of acorns, and they're super tasty and super expensive. Weird fact. There you go.
Acorns has been known to make the meat better for everybody. Acorns and what the fuck is the other ingredient?
I feel like you're just making this up right now.
No, I'm dead serious. They've used it like cannibals use it. It's so good. On humans.
First of all,
Swear to
there are
God.
no places where cannibals live that acorns are growing.
Swear to God, you can feed that shit to humans and it cleans up all their meat, gets all the toxins out of their body, makes the meat softer.
Dude, you're so full of shit.
Fucking swear to God.
Dude, acorns don't make people taste better.
Yes, it's acorns and something else. It's a mixture of the weirdest shit you've ever seen.
And what do
It's
they
like-
just keep them in a
it's like
pen
egg
and just feed them
sorts,
this?
acorns, roots, and some sort of vegetable.
And where did you see this?
Doesn't matter.
I'm
It
calling
just
bullshit.
exists.
I'm calling bullshit.
Swear to God. If it would work on
Listen.
turkeys, why would it not work on humans?
If you're out there in the listening world and you know this cannibal recipe to make humans taste better, email us.
It works
Let us
on
know.
anything for meat because it does something to the meat.
I just know what they do with the pigs, and it's super expensive because they are fed a diet of acorns, which is not cheap. And it makes them taste delicioso. That's what I'm talking about. Now you're going to Google. You were worried about ordering teeth off of eBay. Now you're Googling how to make humans taste better.
Yeah, I don't care about that. That'll make it. That's
You're wondering about your FBI agent.
That's better.
Is checking in on
I'm just looking up recipes right now.
for humans.
So
I don't think that they're going to publish how to cook humans.
I'm gonna find this. I
Okay.
read this a long time ago.
Okay.
All right, we're coming back to this.
You read a fake website somewhere.
No, we're coming back to this.
All right.
It's an actual recipe that they use to feed animals, but they said you can do it to humans too.
Okay.
It's a diet. It's a quote unquote special diet that you go on, and it's supposed to make things happen. Listen, you know how I know it's true?
How?
I'm gonna drop this on you. You're gonna be upset.
How?
Vegetarian women.
Told you that.
Who? What?
Vegetarian women told you that?
No, man. Vegetarian women taste different.
That doesn't make me upset.
No, but I'm saying that's how you know it's true. If the diet for the human changes, the body changes, it works. So if it works for animals, it'll work for a human.
Okay. All right. Anyway. Moving on.
You can't deny the truth.
Moving on from this ridiculous conversation that we're having.
Says the guy who brought it up.
I-
Next one. Next one.
Next one. What? You want now?
Tell
you
me
wanna
another story.
tell you another story?
I wanna know more about your acorn.
No, there's nothing anymore. I'm done with the acorns. I'm moving on. I just threw in a fact, and then you had to take it off the chain.
It's
And
totally
you had to go
right.
somewhere fucking weird with it.
You're gonna be so sad later when this
All
is right.
So sad. Anyway. Again, I got done with all my shout outs. I want to thank everybody. But what we're talking about today on Bays Boys podcast, let's start off with a little thing. You ever heard of a company called Radiance Technologies?
No, what do they do?
Radiance Technologies is a company that is a government contractor.
What do
And
they do?
they're on several Air Force bases. They work on top secret technology for the government.
Well, how are we supposed to know what they're working on if it's top secret?
Well, it's been alleged that the U.S. government has taken alien technology and given it to Radiance Tech to reverse engineer.
What?
And they're one of a few companies that are holding U.S. government property as an alien tech to reverse engineer it, so it's not in government hands, but it's in the private sector. And that's why we don't see it ever.
So
Because
you're saying the government is so black bag that they're paying Tom DeLonge to come up with new ways to use space shuttles?
Space tech, yep. And therefore, if it's not in government hands, that they can secure it better than the government can.
And you think that's right?
Well, apparently, it's such an issue right now in Washington, D.C., that's being brought before a Senate committee hearing very soon. And the Senate's going to look into this.
Listen, we watched a Senate hearing about how a guy wanted to make sure Guam didn't tip over. That's not like, there's no weight in those words. You could have said that they're going to come out and run the Miss Alabama pageant and explain UFOs, and it would have made just as much sense as saying a Senate committee. That motherfucker was like, "Oh, we're concerned about the weight distribution. If you deploy too much personnel there,
the island will capsize."
You said who?
And look, the admiral kept a straight fucking face,
bro.
It was like, well, sir, we're not too concerned with that.
The question about that entire video, the biggest question here, is that when that admiral got home, did he drink out of humor? Or did he drink like out of humor because it was funny? Or out of humor because he was like, gulp, 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 what the fuck am I doing with my life defending people like this? Like, was it humor? Was it irony? Was it self-loathing? He's like, fuck, I got all dressed up for this.
Or I could do anything I want and these people would never know.
Right.
Or was it that?
Or
right?
I could have went to med school.
Right.
He's like, I should have listened to my dad. Why the fuck am I here?
So then
30
what you're
years
saying
down the drain.
Is this Senate committee hearing is going to be a farce on whether or not Radiance Technology is hiding U.S. government property, UFO property, and reverse engineering it.
All I'm saying is...
all they're going to do is bring that admiral back into the committee hearing and be like, they're going to be like, are you reverse engineering alien technology? And he'll just go...
not that I'm aware of, sir.
Sir, we're not too concerned with that.
We're not too concerned with that right now. Listen, I'm concerned.
We have other pressing matters.
I'm concerned that...
how about this?
One
is
of the
it plausible?
1,000%. You know my answer for that is that everything is plausible, though.
Okay.
Every year I see something bigger and dumber that I never, as an adult, that I'm like, oh, that could never fucking happen. And then I see shit happen and I'm like, oh, my life is fucked because I don't know shit.
But here's the weird thing is this.
1,000% plausible.
The weird thing is this, right? All this stuff keeps getting out now about UFOs, like in the media. Like it's becoming very, very mainstream, right?
It's becoming mainstream. It was already out. They were screaming for it, so to speak.
Right. But now they're just kind of letting that shit loose and just letting it out there. And, you know, and they're just kind of dropping it at your feet, right? So all of a sudden that, you know, Radiance Tech is like, absolutely, we don't have any UFO technology, blah, 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 blah. Oh, you're at Groom Lake. You're at, what's the one in Las Vegas outside of Groom Lake? You're there. You're at
the famous one.
Yeah, you're also at Wright-Patterson Air Force Base, which is also where they used to allegedly keep UFOs.
Right.
And so you happen to be located on the base of all the bases that were allegedly known for having UFO tech.
Okay. All I'm saying is that one of the leading guys in proving that there are UFOs used to sing for a skateboard pop punk band. And now he works with some of the highest, most whatever.
No,
credited...
not anymore. He returned back to the
but
the
all
skate
I'm saying,
punk band.
the fact that exists, that whole story from A to Z exists, is it so hard to believe that these dudes contracted out to some other people?
No, hell no.
Absolutely not.
I mean, there were several other things that were contracted out that got out into the world that weren't supposed to get out, but we won't talk about that, right?
I found it. Oysters, acorns, and masala is what the ancient Romans would feed to their animals to improve their flavor.
Okay.
You could do that to a human.
So there was no article. Oh, that's no.
Can't
So
even
no.
discount this.
No. What I'm going to say is you didn't read an article that said headhunters were feeding that to people.
No. I'm saying
that's what you said.
You could do that.
No, that's not what you said.
I didn't say I read an article. I
Did
said I
you
read
not-
it somewhere.
Did he not? I'm asking
But
the engineer.
people would feed it to people to soften their meat. Bro, you don't. I mean, if the Romans did it, everybody's doing it. That's the hotness. That's the new hotness.
That's the new old hotness.
Right. We still got dudes running around in
Masala.
sandals.
Masala,
We got-
oysters, and acorns.
Right. We got dudes fucking wearing.
You know how expensive that diet would be?
That's what I'm saying. But it's for a certain reason, though, right?
Mm,
I mean, think about it. You're saying that expensive, but they were feeding it to their animals.
wow.
Animals. I'm doing the air quotes. Animals.
Right.
Uh-huh. Sure you
First of
were.
all, the Romans were not cannibals.
That we know of.
I'm pretty sure.
I've seen that Sparta movie.
And that was Greece.
Whatever, dude. They're all the same to me. They're not here. I don't care.
Oh Lord, here we go. So you're trying to backtrack. You're trying to prove a point that you didn't even
What
prove.
I'm trying to prove is that I read that shit works on meat, and I think it would work on humans. That is my point.
Why are you so fascinated about how to flavor human meat?
Because nobody ever talks about that.
Because nobody should talk about that.
Have you ever heard Dahmer talk about how
He said
to
tattoos
flavor the
taste
meat?
disgusting.
Exactly?
He did say that.
Why do you think I got all these tattoos?
He didn't have enough time to flavor his meat, though. That's what I'm saying.
See, that's a waste. That's just a waste. You don't go out and buy a gourmet piece of brisket and then fucking boil it, which is what our guy did.
It's pretty much what he fucking
right.
did.
Back to SpaceX.
Yeah. No, we're not
So
even.
Blink 182 is the forefront of finding aliens, and yes, they contract that shit. Dude, they probably wipe all of those guys too. They're like, oh, you didn't figure out the tech? Oh, okay, that's cool. Have a nice day. You know, we're done with this project. And then a week later, all of them get into car accidents.
Car accidents,
Right.
or do they get the old Men in Black treatment where they come
Right.
out with the thing and just
Dude, I wish.
and then wipe their memories?
I wish.
But the technology isn't that good, so it just extracts that one memory.
Right.
So they just
Our-
walk around like drooling zombies for the rest of their life, and
Wipe
they get
away half their
incarcerated.
med school.
Yeah,
Wipe away half their med school, half their MIT fucking engineering school.
everything's gone, and they end up
Right.
in an asylum for the rest of their life because they're drooling idiots after they lobotomize them or whatever they do.
What would it take? What would be the breaking point for society and aliens? Because it's all out there.
No. Here's what it's gonna take. It's
What
like
would it
Bigfoot.
take?
It's like fucking
Yeah,
Bigfoot.
I want to know. Because that's what I think
A
about.
fucking UFO would have to land on the White House lawn.
Get the fuck out of here to change minds. What about if we just caught it on video, caught people getting fucked up? You think people would just be like, that's a movie commercial?
No, I'm
or-
telling you, look, there's enough footage out there of alleged UFOs and enough kidnapping stories and enough all this other stuff.
But there's
There's
no-
enough whistleblowers coming forward.
Well, I'm
There's
talking
enough
about-
pilots coming forward.
I'm talking about a mass fucking, like what you said. The UFO lands there. What about a baseball game? UFO lands, everybody pulls their fucking cell phones out. UFO blasts some baseball
would have-
players and leaves, right?
It would have to be of
Something like that.
That's what I'm saying. It would
The
have
magnitude.
to be. It would have to be of that magnitude,
Right.
right?
And there would still be 49.9% of the internet would be like, fuck you, that's not real.
Right. That's CGI.
That's a new trailer to a new movie that's coming out in 2025.
right.
Y'all motherfuckers got a clip from the new ET. Get the fuck out of here.
Right. What would it take for society to believe in Bigfoot?
I don't know. Here's my thing. Not believing in aliens, I understand. You know, we can't get to space, fine, whatever, that's your argument. These motherfuckers be finding new species of shit all over the world all the time.
That we thought was extinct,
Right.
or never existed
Or
at all.
never even thought existed.
We don't even know what's in 80% of our oceans.
You really think it's 80% still?
Dude, it's super, super high. It might be 70 now, but we still have no idea what lays in the depths and the depths of the oceans.
Because we can't get there, right?
Because we can get to, we know more about outer space than we do our own oceans.
That makes no sense.
That's crazy.
How are they gauging that, by the way? Is that ratio? Miles traveled? What is this?
The amount of the
It has to be
planet.
miles traveled.
Well, it's got to be, the
Because
volume of ocean.
we've gone, what? From here to the fucking space is 70 miles. We figured that out.
Right. We've been all over on outer space.
Have we gone 70 miles
with
deep?
astronomy and all the probes that we sent out. We haven't sent all that shit out to the bottom of the ocean.
They should do that. This is another example of not worrying about your damn self.
No, they're not doing that because they're trying to get off this rock. That's the truth. That's the truth. Elon Musk,
luck.
Big Daddy Elon's going to get us off this rock.
Daddy Elon is going to make waves, but he ain't going to get us off this rock.
I bet he does. I bet he does.
Yeah?
I bet he does. He already said it. By the time I die, I'm going to be living on Mars.
Yeah, but he's got enough money he could rocket his ass and die on the way there.
Well,
if he wanted to,
listen,
saying. You know what I mean?
Now there are also the people out there that say there's already a space fleet. There are already colonies being set up around the world, around the universe.
You don't think anybody would be talking about that, though? How could they find so many people that would want to keep that secret? Unless they were bred for that.
Oh. Now you're going down a rabbit hole.
Right. You walk up to this guy, you're like, hey, I'm John. Hey, I'm Max. Hey, have you seen the new Batman movie? What's Batman?
Hold on. What's the huge drive for all the DNA research, right?
Right.
All the this has been going on since,
history.
90s, since 90s. They've been doing this DNA testing thing, right? Trying to figure out your DNA.
Okay.
And allegedly,
so we
can recover your bodies and blah 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 blah. But what if they need very specific genetic people who can handle the rigors of space?
Right.
Right.
Breeding the best stock has been in that's everywhere. Whether it's dogs, cats, or humans. Somebody's trying to get a better stock going.
Right.
So to speak.
And let's say they're trying to do that to get to space exploration or to serve in a space military, or who knows?
Would you sign up for the Space Force if you could?
If I was guaranteed to be in outer space?
Yeah.
Hell yeah, I'd do that.
Really?
Hell yeah, I'd do that.
You're out, huh?
I'm out.
Going to space.
Going to space. Make me a door gunner on a space shuttle.
Oh boy. Oh boy.
0 G's? Man.
His name was Han Solo?
Listen, I watched that that TV series. And right now I can't think of it.
There it
is.
is.
It's terrible.
MacGyver?
No. It's the one where Mars and the Earth went to war.
Mars Attacks.
No, it wasn't Mars Attacks.
The aliens came down.
No, and then they had the people. They had the people living in outer space on the asteroids and on the planets.
Oh, that's Total Recall.
No, it's not Total Recall, and they called them Belters because they lived in the belt.
That's Total Recall, the remake.
No, it's not Total Recall. God,
I said the remake.
No, it's not even the remake.
Damn it!
Now I'm gonna have to figure this out. I'll watch it anyway. It's a good series. It's a good series.
So they
it'd be like Space Navy.
So they Jesus Christ. Okay. Listen, we're here to talk about funny shit.
You could have Space Marines.
Shit, okay?
Right. You could have Space Marines.
You can't have a Space Navy. There's no water. Duh.
The outer space would be the new water.
God, that's dumb.
Right? What's dumb is you don't know about what's in the ocean.
Yeah, that's our ocean.
Except for amber geese.
They should fix that.
I know what's there.
They should fix that.
They should totally fix that.
Right.
What are they going to do with that information? How's that information going to progress the nations of this world?
Maybe they'll find...
Maybe that's why they don't care.
Maybe they'll find a fish in the ocean that gives you longer life.
Perhaps.
But we won't know because we're too busy looking on Mars.
No, what they'll do is they'll find out how to make it into the new BK broiler.
Oh, my.
They'll sell it to you
for,
you can get this, life-extending BK broiler for $40,000. I mean, who fucking knows, bro? I'm just saying. I think it's very plausible that these company that they're about to put on the Senate committee hearing is reverse engineering alien tech. Why else would they be? Why else would they be very specifically on the basis that allegedly house this tech as it is?
Oh yeah, no, without a doubt. Can we get a job with them?
No, probably won't pass the background check, and we don't have the education.
All right, you know what?
That would be my guess.
You know what? Just because we can't pass the background check doesn't mean that we might not have the education. We might have it somewhere.
Okay. Well, yeah,
right.
Maybe
we can sweep floors.
Yeah,
that's now we won't pass the background check. See, we found a job we could do. It was the background check that kept us out.
Fair enough.
Right.
Fair
it wasn't
enough.
the degree. Stupid NASA.
I mean, but we're still dealing with things where people think Paul McCartney is not the real Paul McCartney. So, That's a whole different animal to itself.
Well,
And I'm still getting checks approved for $21 million, for a loan.
oh.
I got a pre-approval
From the
in the mail.
Nigerian prince?
Yeah, listen.
From
y'all make fun
Kawanda
of
or
that
Yawanda or wherever the fuck
Look,
that
y'all
Black
make fun
Panther
of that
guy's
Nigerian prince that keeps emailing everybody.
from? Right.
You know what's going to happen is that dude's going to die,
With a ton of money in his
and they're going to find
pants,
$40 million in cash in his
in his
apartment.
shit. He's like, fuck, I didn't have nothing to do with this.
And a bunch of rejected emails.
Right.
Like, go fuck yourself. Stop emailing me.
I tried to get this out of here, but they wouldn't let me, and I didn't want to convert it because the rate is just too much. Right. That's exactly what's going to happen, too.
Oh, Lord. Yeah, that's true. Hey, on a sidebar, speaking of space travel and all this other stuff, did you ever hear about the guy that took a lawn chair and he strapped like 25 weather balloons to it?
Oh, yeah, and got it to float.
And like he flew over LAX
Yeah.
and they had to redirect air traffic because the guy was getting blown out to sea at like 25,000 feet or something.
Did they rescue him?
They had to rescue. I don't know how. Right? The guy's plan is like he took a BB gun with him.
What?
And his plan was
going to shoot holes in it.
Shoot holes in the balloons until he slowly came back to Earth.
Oh, my God. Fuck.
Yeah.
He didn't really have the BB gun with him, did he?
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
And like pilots were flying by and they're like, there's some fucking asshole in a lawn chair.
There's a
Like-
dick out here
at
on
like
a chair.
14,000 fucking feet.
Could you imagine being the pilot who sees that?
Oh,
Like, and you come home, it's just like, honey, how was your day? He's like, I saw some guy in a lawn chair floating at 30,000 feet. She's like, asshole, if you don't want to talk to me, you don't fucking have to.
Right,
But
you don't have
gotta
to
tell
tell-
me weird shit.
You don't have to tell me, make up stories about your boring job as an
Right.
airline pilot.
It's like how the Mega Beast is.
Oh, stop.
She's like, you don't have to make up fake stories. I'm like, look, I was piloting a plane today, and I saw a dude in a chair.
In
In
a
the
lawn
sky.
chair.
What's so hard to understand about that, Mega Beast? I say, and she says, you're not a fucking pilot. I said, you know what? You know what?
And then you just leave because you don't
Right.
have any follow up for that.
What am I going to say to that?
Yeah, you.
What am I going to say to that? My story.
You're right.
She's
You're right.
ruining my fucking story by chopping my legs out from under me.
You're right.
Story does no good if you got nothing to stand on.
Would you do that?
Would I do that?
Would
the
you take a
balloon
lo-
thing?
Yeah. Would
Fuck
you?
no.
Why not?
Dude, that's been a thing forever. That paragliding shit is crazy. There's dudes on YouTube. We watched one the other day. Some kid went up to 45,000 fucking feet with a fucking parachute and a fan. I'm like, no.
What was he doing? What was
Ooh,
he doing
dude.
at 45,000 feet?
Nothing.
Dude,
Just
that's-
fucking
there's no
floating,
oxygen up
bro.
there.
He's just floating. Yeah, he had to have gloves and shit. He's like, I got my gloves, my bodysuit. I'm like, okay. And there are dudes who have done it with tanks too. I'm good on that.
Yeah, look.
They go so high they need oxygen.
I just listened to a pilot say that wind blows at that altitude to like at 120 miles an hour.
Yeah, no. And
So
I'm
you-
definitely not going up there with a parachute and a fan.
So now you're at altitude with a parachute and a fan.
What happens if your fan fucking
it's
breaks?
like negative 12 degrees
Right,
at 120 mile an hour winds.
right.
Your fan is gonna choke out because there's no oxygen. Right?
Right.
That engine ain't working right. Your stupid ass parachute's gonna freeze. Right? It's gonna turn into a goddamn giant
Bro.
icicle.
And the best part
Did
is,
he have a
is
parachute?
I don't think so. I was looking because I'm like, my guy, what happens when you fall right here? So he was like, the best part is, first of all, these are all like regular dudes. They're literally dudes that are just buying those fans. You can buy those paragliding fans. I don't know.
You know, Bear Grylls had one of those too, right?
Haley runs one. He's on it all the time.
Yeah, well, Bear Grylls had one, and he tried to get across Antarctica.
What, he ran out of urine?
No, dead story. And he crashed it, right?
Okay.
And fucked himself up bad.
Okay.
And they had to fly a rescue plane from South Africa
Okay.
to Antarctica
Okay.
to rescue him. It was like 13 hours there and 13 hours back by plane.
And when they got to him, he was drinking his own urine
Probably drinking his own piss to
Right.
stay warm or whatever
out
he
of a
wants to
fucking
claim.
polar bear skull.
Right. Out of a polar bear skull. But like, look, bro, who made you think it was a good idea to paraglide across Antarctica?
I don't know.
Maybe he was looking for the entrance to the underground world.
Listen, I love that there's
You've heard about
people-
that, right?
No.
That allegedly there's the hollow earth theory that there's an opening
Oh.
in Antarctica to the hollow earth.
Yeah, it's like in the movie with the Land Before Time. right?
It's
All the ice drops and then they're under the world. I don't know. There's a billion of those movies where it's all ice on top and then it's like a whole coveted world under the bottom.
yeah.
Right. So we're gonna find Atlantis up there.
I don't know. The Nazis were down there.
You know, my great grandfather went on an expedition to one of those places. He was like one of the first guys to ever get up there.
Or to Antarctica?
Something like that, yeah.
Or to the North Pole?
I don't remember which one. I don't care enough.
This story doesn't have any bearing at this point now.
Yeah, he was some sort of like was he government contractor or scientist or some shit? Oh, military then, yeah.
Oh.
And they put his ass up there. There's a whole bunch of pictures in our family and yeah, it's real weird.
Did they find UFOs? Because allegedly that's where they're hiding there too. That's where the reptilian people are.
I never spoke to the guy, obviously. He was dead way before I got here, but yeah, they were just down there doing weird shit.
Yeah.
You know how those military guys are, don't you?
I
They
don't know
sending
anything.
all kinds of weird people, all kinds of weird places.
I don't know anything
And
about
you know
that.
the military guys, they be swimming with sharks in the dark, climbing through icicles, doing ice cave things, looking for moth people, all kinds of weird shit. So, you know,
Look,
they got them out there.
All I'm saying is, right? We were just talking about paragliding. You're like, fuck all that, right? That's dumb,
No.
right?
And that old boy, like I said, he's like a banker. The motherfucker does not belong in the air. Like, I'm thinking, like, he's like, yeah, I'm thinking he's going to be like, well, I got to get back to my job at NASA where we drink fucking Jack Daniels and Coke all day. He's like, no, I got to go sell a Verizon phone later today after I get down from 40,000 feet. What the fuck did you just say?
Did he videotape his travels to 40,000 feet?
That's all he does. His whole channel is blogging fucking paragliding or whatever it's called.
And this is on YouTube.
Yeah.
All right. Now I'm intrigued.
Oh, I'll find it for you later and send it to you.
Now I'm intrigued.
He's this dude, and he's like this jacked kid, and I was like, oh, this kid must be some sort of pro, whatever. I gotta go sell a Verizon phone, Best Buy. I'm like, what? This is just my hobby when I'm bored. Motherfucker, you went up 40,000 feet. I think he had a bump helmet on, which we know is for the landing, because it ain't for coming fucking down fast.
Right, no.
You know, like, there's no safety gear for when you're at 40,000 feet. It's called a parachute.
Not in a paraglider with a fan.
No.
Right? You don't have a parachute on, you're done.
I
Right?
can't even believe that shit's, I guess I'm
Legal?
going to say legal, but
Who's
like,
going to restrict that?
well, the government.
How are they going to find you?
Well, you know, they shoot you down if you're on the wrong airspace. We see a paraglider, sir. Permission to fire. Got another one.
No, how about this?
Got another one, Johnny.
They scramble the jets and they just come by you at Mach 2. Dude, and the shock.
Request flyby.
Right.
No flyby.
Right.
Boom.
And it just
Your
collapses the
fucking
parachute.
Yeah, your chute fucking twist. You go into a spin. Oh, no.
Oh, is that how they do it?
Oh, no. That's fucked up. Well, they said we couldn't fire any rockets, sir. They wanted to save ammo.
Right.
That's fucked up.
Get the guy out of restricted space.
Dude, I did watch a dude parachuting the other day fighting his chute that was tangled. Guy caught it on video. I think it's one of the... I don't know how this works, but I'm assuming because I've seen other cameras set up like this. It's like where you wear the watch and it floats around you. You know what I'm talking about?
No, I have no idea.
They have these like drones that'll follow you. And I think people have figured out how to make them up close because this dude's fucking twirling and firing and this camera's videoing him from what looks like 5 feet away.
How do we know it's not another jumper? A lot
It's
of times
too-
these
it's
guys
cons-
will. A lot of these
well,
guys
it's
will
con-
jump out together.
The camera angle is consistent.
Okay.
So the camera positions itself at a certain spot compared to you and stays in that spot the whole time. So you look like you're fucking wrestling and it's just standing there.
well,
It's
that's wild.
really weird. But have you noticed that a lot of those videos have been popping up? They have the you've seen 365.
So are they staged?
No. They're just I think they just float next to a remote, some sort of like depth gauge. I don't fucking know. Dude. I don't know. I know
if you're a listener and you
No.
know
I
about
know they
this
have
tech-
drones. I know they have drones that you can get to follow you, like without a doubt on the ground. I
Yeah,
don't
but
know
at
what you would
terminal
use.
velocity.
I don't know. I don't have the coolest drone, and drones been out for a while, so you know that they've got some pretty high tech. What about that 365 camera, bro? How's that even make sense? You can record 365 all the way around the whole time, and then when you as a viewer go and watch, you can move the camera and shit while you're watching it.
That's pretty weird.
That breaks my brain. And you can buy that camera at fucking Best Buy for $500.
That's kind of wild.
It's crazy as fuck. You want to talk about getting recon in a crowd? You just walk through the crowd with that camera. You got everybody.
Yes, you do.
Right. Later on, you go home and scan through all that shit.
How about this one? I just saw this on the Go Show. They went through the house with like LiDAR.
LiDAR, like
They had a backpack on with the LiDAR device hanging out, and it scans the entire room with lasers.
Okay.
Millimeter by millimeter, the entire room.
Okay.
And they could download it into a laptop, and it'll bring up the whole blueprint of the entire home and everything in the home, right?
Right.
This house was vacant. They walked through the house one time. They got all the rooms mapped out. There's nothing, right? They walked through it a second time, do a second one to make a comparison.
Okay.
The second time they walk through, there's a chair in a room that is not visibly present in that room. They did a third time, chair's gone. There was a ghost chair in this house.
That's crazy. By the way, I was way off on these feet. I don't know these feet. They're just as high as a plane, 23,000. Wait.
Okay, 23,000 feet.
That's still crazy as fuck.
You should not be at 23,000 feet.
Right, with some gloves on and a North Face cap.
in your Adidas tracksuit.
Right. Oh, this is the guy, right? This dude did flying 17,500 feet on a paramotor. That was the one that I saw. This one says, oh, this is a jump from 23,000. Jesus. 5.5 hours in the fucking sky on a paraglider. Good luck with that. You interested in that there, Josie? Because I'll find the guy who we can rent it from. I'll send your ass into space.
Nah.
And then we get back on the mic. We talk about it.
I'm not interested in
paragliding. Tell me what you saw.
I'm not interested in paragliding as high as jetliners. No interest in that.
17,000 feet.
He said 23,000 feet.
23,000. I don't give a fuck. I don't want to go on a 200-foot roller coaster. You don't think I want to go 23,000 fucking feet? They'd be like, well, that's all your own equipment. It's fine. Yeah. You ever seen me pack a chute?
No, mind you.
Me neither.
Mind you, if that paraglider chute collapses.
Bro, you hit a gust of...
You're strapped to a rock.
Right. You hit a gust of wind the wrong way. You hit two gust of winds and they go and they fucking make you a spinning top.
And now you're falling to the earth, strapped to a rocket ship.
Right.
All that weight's just dragging you back down.
And you just spent 3 years at your Best Buy job saving all your money for this parachute.
The paraglider.
Whatever, dude.
What's a paraglider cost?
I don't know.
Dude, that's why the lawn chair thing's way better.
Oh, sure. I want to be not in control and be stuck on some piece of shit nylon that some Chinese kid strung together with his little tiny hands and then sold at Walmart for $10. Fuck that shit.
Dude, it's way cheaper to buy a bunch of weather balloons and strap them to your lawn chair. Way cheaper.
This is fucking horrible. This is what happens when people do shit off of television.
Stop doing shit.
I mean, television comes from people in general. Okay, that's something we should all recognize. Television came from us, so it's our fault anyways.
Yeah.
But it's recycled through here, right? Like some dude sees some guy on YouTube, he's like, he's got a paraglider at 18,000. I could do 19,000, and he goes out and buys
I guarantee that happens. But the lawn chair guy, was that a bet? Was that a bet, or was this guy like, fuck that, I can do this? Like, what made him come up with this idea and thought it was a sane idea?
I don't know.
Look, I got my BB gun. I'll slowly deflate these balloons.
I don't come up with these ideas, so
it never once crossed your mind as a kid?
Not even a little bit.
You ever try to jump your bike as a kid?
No.
You never built a ramp and tried to jump your bike?
Negatory.
What?
I didn't have a bike. Oh,
your scooter?
Right. I went right that way. Scooters? No.
Your Heelys?
No. We've been over this. Heelys. You see the detachable Heelys? I think you're the one that sent it to me.
Yes, I did.
Detachable Heelys.
Yeah.
Okay.
You need a pair of those.
Sons of bitches.
You need a pair of those.
They're not going to make them in our size.
Oh, dude, that guy was an adult who was wearing them.
An adult with a size 8. That's what that was.
Size 8 youth.
Right. Where do you buy your shoes? Kmart Kids.
Right.
Kmart Kids shoe section.
So the lawn chair thing you're out on, right?
No lawn chairs.
Yeah, not good. Here's another one for you. Was the Titanic staged?
What? Don't
Oh,
tell me you got theories about this. By the way,
No.
this says flying 17,000 feet on my paramotor without oxygen. So apparently the other kid maybe might have had oxygen. I'm not sure, but 17 seems thin, right?
That's pretty thin.
That's thin. Okay.
That's pretty thin.
So what do we talk about Titanic here? I saw the movie on that. It was obviously legit.
No,
DiCaprio died in the movie.
Right. So
There was
the
a
ship
real
sank.
guy.
We all
Okay.
know the ship
Okay.
sank.
Okay.
It's on the bottom of the
Do
ocean.
you think it was an inside job?
No, what I'm saying is, Star Cruise Lines owned 3 ships.
Okay.
All of them looked identical.
Okay.
All of them were pretty much built the same.
Did they all look like the Titanic?
Yep.
Who the fuck builds a giant steel boat and thinks it's going to float?
It's based. Oh my god, dude!
Yeah.
It's all about displacement of water. That's actual science. So you can't crack that.
Listen.
Here's the thing.
You want to know what?
Their second ship, a month before the Titanic launched,
Mm-hmm.
was involved in an accident, ripped a big giant hole in the side of it.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
They were going to have to make massive insurance claims and blah 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 blah. It was going to turn into a huge problem.
I can displace water with a rock, which is what the Titanic was.
Hear me out before we get into this, because I don't want to lose my train of thought. The 3 richest people in the world were tied into Star Cruise Lines.
Okay.
They take the wrecked ship, do a patch job on it,
Okay.
swap all the names off of it. It becomes the Titanic. They get everybody to go on it. All the richest people, like, oh, you're the unsinkable ship, right?
Okay.
Some of the rich people on board that ship were against the rich people who owned the cruise line and their business dealings.
Okay.
The 3 rich guys that were supposed to be on that cruise, last minute, canceled their trips.
Of course.
New Titanic sails off, hits the iceberg, the shitty patch job rips wide open, the whole thing goes right down to the bottom. Don't worry about it. We've got another ship that's in perfect condition. We can go back into operation. They're saying that these guys swapped the ship and took the damaged ship out, knowing that it probably wouldn't make it,
And just send it out anyways?
to claim the insurance on it.
That's thick and thin at the same time.
I just watched the whole thing on it. Because miraculously, the one the month before that was in an accident was miraculously like brand new right after the Titanic. And it had giant hole ripped in the side of it in the accident prior to the Titanic launch. And it was going to take months and months and months and months to repair.
So we're saying the Titanic was an inside job.
We're saying the Titanic wasn't the original Titanic. And they swapped places.
What'd they do with the Titanic after they swapped places?
The Titanic took on its new name and took the role of that ship and went to work.
No shit. No more cruises though?
No, they were doing cruises, but it was under a different name. It wasn't the Titanic. They changed the name on it. The Guggenheims died. All these really wealthy, important people died, but they also opposed the Rockefellers and all the people that were involved in the cruise line.
Might have been just one guy on that ship they needed to whack. They might have wiped an entire ship for that.
To get one guy?
I wouldn't doubt it.
Well, back then, when
Greed will push a man to anything.
Listen, when they had more money than governments,
Right.
dude, some of these, I forget which tycoon it was that walked into the White House office and wrote the President of the United States a check for the national debt.
Right.
Rockefeller, I think, right? Walked in the office, is like, Mr. President, what's the national debt? Hold on, here's a check.
Right.
Anyway, but if it wasn't Rockefeller, it was the other guy. I can't think of his name either. The railroad tycoon. But what are you going to do to that guy? He just paid off the national debt. That guy can do whatever the fuck he wants.
Yeah. You could definitely afford a paramotor.
Dude, I don't even know how you're trying to loop this back around, because that don't even make no sense. I'm just saying.
So the Titanic was an inside job.
Would you put it past?
Nope. I'm telling you, every year, less and less things surprise me.
Right, because allegedly, like I said, both of these ships were built identical. One was the Titanic, and one was the other one. They had the 3 stacks on the roof. Everything was the same. All they did was switch placards.
Here's the real question. Do you think Jack rode on any of those other ships?
No.
Fuck.
And we know why she killed him.
Yeah.
We know why she killed him.
She don't want to slum.
No, she couldn't bring her slumming present back to New York with her with the rest of her family.
Draw me like your slum girls, Jack.
Right. She couldn't do that because they're like, who's this peasant that you brought home with you?
Right.
Right? That was something you did on trips, and then you just, and it was frowned.
Makes me feel horrible.
Yeah, well.
That scarred Jack for life.
Well, Jack didn't live very long, did he?
No.
Unless he was one of those bodies they pulled out of the ocean that they thought was dead.
Right.
And when they piled them up on the boat and their body heat was enough body heat to bring some of them back to life because they were in deep hypothermia.
Then they died of hypothermia 2 weeks later anyways.
Yeah. Oh, I don't know about that.
Probably.
Why?
Because that's what happens to everybody who gets hypothermia back then.
What, they died 2 weeks later?
Yeah.
I've never heard that.
I don't know why.
You just made that up.
You never hear people say that? Like, he got hypothermia and died a week later. I'm like, why did it take him a whole week to fucking die?
That doesn't even make sense.
Was he laying in bed the whole time?
Right. That doesn't even make sense.
All right, we got to find out how fast hypothermia kills you, but we can do that later.
We can do that another time.
None of us are getting hypothermia, so we're good.
Not anytime soon.
We might draw each other like Jack's ladies later, but no Titanics.
No Titanics.
No, that's weird.
Listen, folks, stay off your hyperglider at 23,000 feet.
Right.
Don't get in a lawn chair with weather balloons strapped to it and fly across LAX's airspace.
Unless you work at Best Buy.
Right.
In a place that's still selling CDs. Then maybe you might want to get on the paraglider and leave.
Right. Stay out of restricted airspace and your homemade flying machines.
Right.
Because they might scramble jets to just do flybys on you.
And
bring it back to Earth.
Chute.
And if you do, wear a parachute.
Right.
Wear a parachute.
Learn how to use it first.
That's what I would say.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's all we got for right now. Write the show. Right? Tell us how much you hate us.
Be happy.
You can't hate us that much because your mom loves us.
Right. And I love her.
We get the emails all the time.
Yes.
Anyway, 30, 97 seconds.